let's talk about something we've all felt in the home care world. You find an absolutely fantastic caregiver, right? They're amazing with clients. And then, just like that, they're gone. It feels like a constant revolving door. But what if you could actually stop it? Well, today, we're going to break down how to keep your best people right where they are. So let's just get right into it. Why does this keep happening? I mean, you pour all this time, training, and trust into a really gifted caregiver, only to get that 2 weeks' notice. It's frustrating, it's disruptive, and honestly, it's expensive. But the reasons they leave, well, they aren't some big mystery. They're actually patterns, and patterns are things we can fix. And just look at the scale of this problem. The industry average for caregiver turnover is a staggering 65%. Think about that. It means most agencies are basically running like a leaky bucket. You keep pouring amazing new hires, resources, and time in the top, but they're draining out the bottom just as fast. This doesn't just hit your bottom line. It tanks morale, and most importantly, it messes with the quality of care your clients depend on. So here's the thing. Fixing this leaky bucket, it isn't about finding one magic plug that solves everything. Nope. It's about building a supportive, engaging journey for every single employee. And that journey, it starts way before they even meet their first client. So yeah, let's start at the very, very beginning. The foundation for keeping your people long-term is built the second you post a job opening. Getting this part right can change the whole game. It's all about attracting the right kind of people and then setting them up to win from day one. So how do you actually do that? Well, first off, you have to be brutally honest in your job descriptions. Let's be real, this is more than a job, it's a calling, and it's tough. Second, hire for the things you can't teach. Use those behavioral interview questions to find people who are just naturally empathetic and resilient. And third, onboard them for confidence. Don't just throw them to the wolves. Let them shadow your best people so they feel prepared, not panicked. Okay, so you've got a great caregiver on board. Now, the real work begins. Their day-to-day experience is what's going to make or break their decision to stay. This is where all the little things really start to add up. You can think of an employee's daily life at your agency as one of 2 paths. One path is full of things that just push people right out the door. But the other path, that one's filled with actions that build this deep, real loyalty that makes people want to stay. Let's dig into what those look like. And the differences are pretty stark, right? It all starts with competitive pay and benefits. That's table stakes, you have to have it. But look at the rest. Real loyalty is built when caregivers feel like they can actually talk to you and be heard. It's built by supervisors who are trained to be empathetic leaders, not just bosses. And it gets reinforced by true flexibility. Simple things like shortening a draining commute by matching caregivers with clients who live nearby. It makes a huge difference. All right, so you've hired the right people and you're treating them well day to day. The next level, the thing that really locks in loyalty, is showing them they have a future with you, not just a paycheck for right now. This is how you go from having a workforce to having a committed team. And growth doesn't just mean climbing a corporate ladder into management. For a lot of caregivers, growth means getting better at the job they love. It means feeling valued enough that you're willing to invest in their skills, invest in their time, and show them that you really see their potential. And this kind of investment can look a lot of different ways. You could offer workshops on new care techniques or support them in getting valuable certifications. You could create a real recognition program like a Caregiver of the Month with actual rewards. And hey, what about when the client census is low? Instead of cutting hours, use that downtime for paid training. That sends a powerful message that you're invested in them, even when the billable hours aren't there. Now, let's tie this all together. All these different strategies, the hiring, the nurturing, the investing, they're all building blocks. But to make retention truly stick, you have to weave them into the very fabric of your agency. You have to build a true culture of retention. So how in the world do you do that? Well, you create a positive feedback loop that basically fuels itself. Think of it like a big, heavy flywheel. It takes a ton of effort to get it moving, but once it starts spinning, it just generates its own momentum. So here's how that flywheel works. First, you have to gather feedback. Use exit interviews, use anonymous surveys. Don't be afraid of what you might hear. Second, and this is crucial, you actually use that feedback to make real, visible changes. Third, as you get better, you start to build this amazing reputation as a great place to work, so share those employee success stories. And finally, that reputation helps you attract even more great talent, which starts the whole cycle over again, but even stronger this time. If there's only one thing you take away from all this, please let it be this. At its heart, retention isn't about pizza parties or nice little platitudes. It's about creating an environment where your team feels seen, heard, supported, and genuinely valued for the incredibly important work they do every single day. So, I'm going to leave you with a question. I want you to look at your own agency, at your own leaky bucket, and ask yourself this. What is the one thing I'm going to change tomorrow to show my team how much they are valued? Because that one small change, that's how you stop the revolving door for good.